Hello, kit heads. Welcome to the Rank Bank. We are talking kit. It's Wednesday. It's 9:30. It means one thing. It's full kit rankers in full effect. We are here for another great episode, looking at 10 shirts with some great guests. I am Double A, as always, as you probably tell, because the screen is so big and you can see my ugly mug in full HD. I'm the only regular ranker that's here this evening. No James, no Sean, and no Josh. So I've managed to scour the kit community, and I've got four great people, including myself in the five there. I really shouldn't, obviously, these four. And the main people, we don't come here to listen to my stupid opinions on anything. It's all about the guests and the people from the community. So yeah, I've got four amazing people that are all going to come here and show off their ranking skills, is what I will say they're going to do. I'm very much looking forward to it. But yeah, before we get everyone in, you may have seen a video on our socials this week, linking up with classic football shirts. We've got a 10% discount code. Use the code TalkingKit10 at checkout, and you get 10% off all those glorious football shirts. We've also the video is yeah, you've seen the video. There's also a link in the description, and it just takes you straight to the website. And the checkout, the code is automatically applied at checkout. As well as that, any contributions we receive from that link, obviously we're going to donate to football shirts for charity. So yeah, it's all very well putting it back into the community, and obviously a good cause. So we're not looking to make quick dime and get rich off your coin, so to speak. So I thought we'd give it a little bit of a mention. If you haven't seen the video, Instagram, Twitter at Talking Kit. Go and have a look. The acting skills are A1. I've just nicked one of our guest little things there. I've just noticed what I've done from his videos. He's probably going to go mad in a minute when I bring him on. But anyway, that's fine. It's all right. So there we go. Yeah, so check it out. And yeah, if you, obviously, I can't say if you're into your football shirts, but why would you watch in this channel if you wasn't into your football shirts? What am I talking about? Of course, we're going to get the guests on in a minute. But before we do that, if it's your first time Talking Kit, be sure to smash a like on the video. We are growing steadily. It's getting better and better, bigger and bigger. The views are getting better, which I'm really happy about. It means you guys are enjoying the content that we are giving you, and I promise you it's going to get better and better as we get bigger, obviously. So yeah, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, make sure you're hitting the comments tonight with what you think of the 10 shirts. I'll run through a few when I get a chance. But yeah, let's get some of the guests on. Because I'm sick of talking to myself at the moment. I want to bounce off some people. That's what it's all about. So yeah, the first guest I'm going to get on, I just nicked his sort of trademark little thing here. But he's let me tell you, one of my favourite YouTube channels. I say this every week. I know. It sounds like I'm blowing smoke up people's ass, but sometimes the smoke is very much deserved. This guy's YouTube channel is just getting better and better. I love his top fives. I love his ranking lists. One thing I love about him most is that he's very bad at pronouncing foreign team names, foreign places, but it's all great, and he makes no apologies in the fact that his pronunciation isn't the best. But yeah, let's get him on. He's from the Retro Football Kits YouTube channel. Is Jay. Good evening, mate. You okay?
Let's go, mate. Don't you? Thank you first of all. That was a beautiful way to introduce me. I'm honoured, really am, and yeah, I'm from Birmingham, so my pronunciation I can't even pronounce. It's going to be bad.
I'm the same, mate. I endear to it because I'm the exact same, mate. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's funny. It makes the videos all the better for it, mate. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I've been a fan of the channel for a little bit. Really enjoy your content, so I'm glad you've come on and we get to rank together tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
It's an honour, mate. No, thank you for having us on. I really do appreciate it. This is my kind of first sort of live kind of reaction with other people in the community and stuff. I've very much done it all on my own, so I'm really excited to get involved with this and speak to more people that are obsessed about football shirts like myself.
Good stuff, mate. Brilliant. Yeah, so we'll have a little chat a little bit later when I've got everyone else on. So yeah, next on, he's been on the channel before. He came on with me and Ryan on Get to Know, where we sit down with a seller and a collector. It's probably most known, that episode, for the fact that the collector had some problems and had to leave. So we just focused on him, and I think he absolutely loved every single second of the episode being about him. Met him down at Stockport County. There was sort of a little fair going on there, and he had a store with his little business. He's a great guy, really enjoying talking to him and getting to know him a lot better. Massive on TikTok as well. If you'll love his TikToks if you've not already seen them. It is Max. He's fitted for fans. Are you okay?
I'm all right. I'm massive on TikTok. It's such a weird thing to say. So please never introduce me like that again.
I'll never say that again. I'm sorry. It's not my fault you're massive on TikTok. It's all right.
It's all right. You just want to go back and apologize that I didn't recognize you when you came to the stall in Stockport. You know, when it is like you meet someone who's like, I know that guy. Come on with it, because you're in a situation where you're not expecting to meet you, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
You know what's funny about that? Because obviously you said you recognised me first, but my girlfriend who I was with, she thought I'd gone up to you and gone, "Do you know who I am?" And I was like, "No, I would never introduce myself like that to anyone. Obviously not." But no, it was nice to meet you, mate. It was did you have a good day overall there?
Yeah, it was all right. I don't think my store was appropriate for what it was. I know, like George had a better day than I did, but I think for me, maybe wasn't best suited for it because it was more of a program and memorabilia fair than a football shirt fair.
Yeah, yours was the best stall, mate. Don't worry about that. It was the best. So I'm happy you've come back on. Obviously, you was on Get to Know with me and Ryan, but I'm happy you've come on to Folk It Rankers because I think you've got very strong opinions about football shirts, and I want to get them from you direct, live, and not on any social media, so to speak.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it. You are definitely gonna hear it tonight.
Good. I hope so. Also, we've kept you up, so I apologise for that as well. You were saying it's my bedtime. I need to go to bed, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll try. Like I tell Hannah, I'll try and keep it short and sweet, mate. Okay, don't worry about it.
No worries.
Okay, so we'll get our next guest on, and he's a little bit outside the kit community in terms of his content, but I can tell, and I know after speaking to him a few times and meeting him, he's definitely into his football shirts. He does an amazing podcast. I actually met him this summer, and we went and played foot golf. Never played it before. I was so close to getting a hole-in-one. Honestly, it was. I also realised if you did get a hole-in-one, you get a football shirt bought for you, which I'm now even more pissed off. But he's a great guy, great podcast. I was again recently talking about Manchester United, which is a big passion of mine, much to Max's dismay. It is Hamz. He's from the Friday Night Counter-Attack podcast. Good evening, mate.
Good evening, Double A. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, you were that close to getting a football kit bought for you as well. So maybe next time when you play foot golf, that's how it goes about. But no, I'm really excited for my first live appearance, my debut actually on Full Kit Rankers and on Talking Kits. So looking forward to chatting about football kits. And like I discussed with you previously as well, we would talk about football kits more in lockdown when we had literally our wardrobes next to us. So that was my little way of showing off all our football kits, our collection of football kits with me and my friends, and we loved it. And I thought, you know what, if anyone wants to do it again in the future on our channel, by all means we'll do it. But when I found out about your kit collection, Double A, and the fact that you're wearing that classic Brazil kit when we went to play foot golf, that was a joy for me. So I'm like, yeah, you know what, let me call you Roberto Carlos at any given moment, or Adriano, because of your wand of a left foot. It worked well for me and it worked well for the video. But no, thank you very much for having me, and I'm looking forward to speaking with everyone today about football kits.
Of course, mate. I think the fact I wore that Brazil shirt didn't change the whole content of the episode. Didn't change to the World Cup or something mad like that or something. I remember.
It made it easier for me because it meant that I didn't have to record a foot golf session in November. I was like, you know what, let's do it now. 3 of the 4 of us are wearing kits. So yeah, let's carry on with it, and it worked well perfectly, which is brilliant.
I'm happy to help out, mate. Happy to help out. Okay, so let's get our last guest on. He actually appeared on the very first Full Kit Rankers way back when last year. I can't remember. It was that long ago. And yeah, listen, I've been dying to get him back on for ages. But it actually coincided with his date night Wednesdays, and I think we shuffled the thing around. Maybe just for me, maybe because he's that desperate to see me again. I don't know. I'm hoping that's the case. And I love the guy. We chat regular on socials. Do you know what I'm going to say? He is. He's the quickest person on Photoshop I've ever seen in my life. The guy, he just bam, 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 sending me stuff, photoshopping. He's an absolute. It is Dom. He's from Kit Kingdom. Hi, pal. You all right?
He's there.
How you doing? It's been a little while, but I'm
Mate, too long.
Far too long. Far too long.
Mate, one game a season, I'm like Darren Anderton.
Yeah, but when you play, you smash it out.
Oh, mate.
It's a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? It's no 6s or 5 or 6s. It's a straight 10, mate. But hopefully it's a more regular thing now.
Yeah.
I hope your partner's not too dismayed that I've ruined your date night or anything like that. But
No, she fucked me off especially. So
oh, right, okay. That's fine.
all 3 now. Yeah. Means I can watch United on Thursdays as well.
Being selfish, that's my gain, isn't it, I guess. So I'm very happy with that. Well, I hope you're well, mate, and it's great to have you on. I'm really happy to be ranking with you again. It's really fun. It is really fun.
Yeah, I'm used to just ranking on my own, but having a group rank with all you guys,
aren't we all,
come through.
Aren't we all? This is it. This is what I want to do. I want to get those that are ranking solo to come and rank together, make it more enjoyable for the rest of us. To be fair.
You're sick. You're absolutely sick. Ranking, solo ranking is brand new. I mean,
Max, my channel's called Talking Kit. What do you expect when you come on a channel called Talking Kit? I mean, it's in the name, mate. This is the level you're getting. I'm afraid. I apologise.
I was going to ask if I was allowed to swear, but I think that's gone now, isn't it?
Feel free. Whatever comes out. That's absolutely fine. Right, okay. So if you don't know what we're ranking this week, we are ranking 10 cult classics. You might see it at the top of the thumbnail there. Did anyone think these? We won't name the 10 or any of them, but did anyone would think these weren't cult classics or any?
There were shirts I was expecting to see which weren't on there. So some of them were a bit of a surprise. I was glad that they were gone for less obvious choices. So yeah, it was definitely thought-provoking and some surprises in there.
What about? So you mentioned some there then, Dom, that you weren't. Mm-hmm. You thought were going to be there. Can you name some honourable mentions then that we may have missed?
Fiorentina, that one. As you know, anything that's going to be that provocative, that still gets massive plaudits. Obviously, as soon as anyone gets hold of one. They're putting it all over socials, and I can see everyone kind of grimacing like, oh, should you really be showing it off that much? So yeah, that's got, for me, that's like cult status. So there's some of that ilk that I was expecting to see that weren't there, but I was more than happy with the list we got.
I'm happy to hear it. I think we'd had who was it? I think it was a couple of episodes ago with Kit Manaman and Fuge. I think there was a Fiorentina on there, so I'll try not to have too many of the same. I know we had England last week, but I think one of the shirts you're going to see had to be in that list. I think it's seen as one of the most cult classic shirts that you'll find. So yeah, Jay, what about you? Did you find it easy to rank or?
No, it weren't easy at all. It's so difficult to distinguish between some of them because obviously you've picked some of the best kits. Going and they've all got stories, they've all got great, things behind them. But so it was really difficult. There's still now, if I look at my list, I reckon there's still some that you could shift around and move. So no, I didn't find it easy at all.
Yeah, and Hamz will finish off with you. I think Max is preparing to rank. Maybe I don't know. Hamz we'll finish off with you then. With that list, was there anything you thought defo should have been on there, or was you happy with the 10 that we sent over?
I think it's because of the fact that, like, we've listened to a couple of your previous videos and your episodes as well. We know that they've already been picked already, so it's just like the best of the rest so far. So when I was looking at them and I messaged you, I'll get it back to you by the end of the day. But actually, I'll go back within an hour or something of the list because I was looking through all of them. I was like, I remember why this kit is iconic. I don't really know why this is iconic as well. And as you'll go through my list later on, my thought process is if I had the money to spend on a kit, what am I going to go for number 1 to what am I going to go for at number 10? So I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else has got as their iconic number 1 to their iconic number 10. And great list as well to go through. Doubly.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Max, I've asked everyone, so I'll ask you as well. So how did you find ranking this list? Was it quite easy? I think your number 10 was easy. I won't say which one that is. I think number 10 was quite easy for you.
Yeah, and I know who you support. Dom, I know who you support. And Hamz, I can clearly... Well, actually, I'm 50-50 between who you support. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, it's... I think once we got that one out of the way, it wasn't too difficult, really. I guess it just came down between like number 2 and number 1, which was like, which one would I go for?
Yeah.
And when I explain later, it's going to be clear to see why I went for the one that I did as my number 1, at least. Also, I thought of a new pun that you can use. Shirtle jerk.
Jerk. Okay, I'll bet that. I'll bet it on mine, mate. I'll stick it under my collar. I'll definitely draw it out one time. Thank you.
I'm not sure Double A was a fan of Martin Shirtle when he was playing as well, so he wasn't a big player for him.
Play for Liverpool, mate. So I'm definitely not.
Definitely not a Shirtle. We don't like Shirtle on here.
Please keep the puns coming, because normally Josh and James are giving me pelters for it. So anyone else who's coming with puns, I applaud it, because it takes the heat off me having to come up with them all the time. But yeah, before we get into the episode, again, if it is your first time talking kit, please be sure to smash a like on the video. To quote or to nick a saying from a friend of mine, when you go into your house, you wipe your feet on the mat. When you come into the stream, you should definitely smash a like on the video. It's the least you can do. It's free, and it does help the channel in all sorts of ways that you won't believe. So yeah, we appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, also make sure you're subscribing. And I'll just get a few comments that have popped up just before we start. So yeah, hello to Elijah, who is locked in. Jamie Pearson, big fan of the channel and also the other stuff I do on Never a Foul. It's good to see you in. Viking football, hello, pair of rankers. I'm guessing you're talking about Matt there, was one of them that's been a City fan. Maybe. In the derby day, mate, I've got to get some jokes in, I'm afraid. And obviously, the biggest fan of the show, who we all love, Jackson's jerseys. Good evening, guys, especially to Kit Kingdom. Love your best. Whoa. You can't just say especially to Kit Kingdom. There's 5 of us here.
Cheers, buddy.
Spread the love equally. And Arnold as well, locked in. Hello, good evening. Yeah, so as always, the chat and the comments are welcome when we're going through the shirts. Let us know if we've had a stinker placed in this shirt where we have, or if we've got it bang on for you. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. As always, each one of us has ranked these shirts 1 to 10, 1 being our favourite, 10 being our least favourite. I've then totted all up the scores, and then it's got our definitive list. And I will say, I don't know whether it's just because it was a mixed bag, but this is the closest list I think we've ever had in terms of score. Normally there's a couple at the bottom, and then it'll jump, and sometimes the winner is even higher, but they're all in close proximity, and I think it's proved to be quite a divisive list or decisive list in terms of mixing up opinions on what they class as a classic shirt. So,
is there a clear favourite so far, Double?
No, I mean literally the top 3 are separated by 2 points. That's how close. That's how close it is. It really is quite close in terms of that. So yeah, let's get into this week's episode. These 10 shirts. So number 10 on our list, coming in with only 16 points. I'm devastated about this being number 10, by the way. I will say that. Max, on the other hand, is going to be absolutely delighted. And I think he's going to love ranking even more, especially when he sees this shirt coming up. It is number 10. It's a 95 to 96 away shirt from Manchester United. Dead last on our list. Again, I'm going to say it. I'm absolutely devastated. Second on my list, and I've always loved this shirt, and I love it more just personally. This is the last time I was a full kit wanker. This is the last kit I ever had as a kid that I had the shirt, shorts, and socks too. Got it for my birthday. I love it. I just love it. It's a cult classic. It's beautiful, and the story behind it, the battering from Southampton, changing at half time. What's not to love? And I think now you see the price it goes for now, and I think it's reflected in the community that it is seen as a cult classic, and I think it deserves to be definitely higher than 10 for me. But I'm just the host. We're here for the opinions of these guys. Previews put it dead last, and I think what we'll do, Max, because I think it's going to be a beautiful occasion you talking about this shit. So we'll come to you last, if that's okay.
I'm fine with that.
And we'll start with someone who didn't have it last, and I think he still should have had it a little bit higher. Dom, you had it 7 overall.
Yeah, so as Hamz had alluded to, it was that I wasn't looking at the list as what had like cult status. It was merely, what I'd be looking at picking up. Now, I know that you can get these relatively easily, but I think if it was solely nostalgia and not an element of cult, I would have had it a bit higher. Because again, for me, and with the full kit, the trim across the chest above the sharp view cam, I know goes onto the shorts, which are the shorts are the same as the bottom panel. So yeah, look, that just flows really well. The socks happen to be the same as well. But for me, it just evokes a load of memories of, being a kid, looking at it and it seeming a lot different to anything else that was ever there before or has ever been since. And apparently the players might have had something to do with why that happened. But I think just on United memory, love it. But as an overall aesthetic, looking at it a bit more objectively, I wouldn't be surprised at why people thought it was fucking horrible, to be honest. But yeah, it's a bit mad. But again, just love it as a United fan, probably just the same as you, but couldn't put it too much higher on the basis of the fact that we're looking at cult status, I think.
Yeah, no, I absolutely hear that. I think, obviously this picture here is from that famous game where we got beat by Aston Villa, which invoked that obviously famous saying from Mark, what's he called? Hansen. I can't remember his first
Alan
name.
Hansen.
Alan Hansen, that's the badger. I don't mind telling you guys, internally, this is my reaction to it coming dead last. I'm absolutely screaming like a petulant child right now. Thank you very much. But yeah, I just love it. Let's go to another United fan. And he had it dead last, which I'm really surprised at. But again, given his reasons, he's probably got a good excuse for stabbing his team in the back. So, Hamz, please tell me why you put it dead last on your list, please.
Oh my God, it's just when you're looking at what Man United did in the 90s in terms of their away kits, not even in their home kits as well, you're looking at it and you're kind of thinking they had some absolute bangers in there as well. And then when you go into the 2000s, the early 2000s, they have some of the best cult away kits that I've ever seen. And I know I'll always remember them as well for moments. So again, one moment for me was watching the 2002-2003 blue kit when we drew 2-2 away to Arsenal at Highbury, and there was a time when Man United played at home in that blue kit against Olympiacos. That for me screams like quintessential cult away kit. For me to be reminded of this kit for Man United, again, we did win things with kids. We won the FA Cup this season as well, which is a fantastic feat to see as well. And I'm pretty sure we won the Premier League in that same season in 1996. But to see it for Aston Villa and then to see it in different games, and again, for it to be before my time from watching games, I'm just kind of there like, Man United definitely deserves to be represented higher, but not for this kit. This kit is one of our, for me personally, one of the worst kits I've ever seen from Man United for an away kit. Ooh. Sorry, Double A. I know you invited me for the Man United tangent, but this is how I feel about it. There's a deep hatred to some of the kits that Umbro have done, but for Man United, they always used to come through. But for this one, I didn't like it very much.
Listen, mate. If I got angry every time that someone had a different opinion about a kit, I'd never have a channel. But that being said, you are banned and you won't be on again. But that's absolutely fine, mate. Jay, let's come to you. Chelsea fan, if people don't know, I imagine you didn't like Man United a lot at this period. You probably still don't, obviously. 2008 and all that kind of stuff.
Good.
So for you, given it's dead last, why is it for you?
I'll break your heart and say that I wasn't even born at this moment in time. So I'm sorry about that. I mean, there's a brilliant comment from Michael, who's actually my mate, who said, I appreciate the shirt. It's a bit out there. I feel like I can smell it, which is a brilliant comment, I have to admit. I'm not just saying that because he's my mate, but I just brilliant. For me, obviously it's got the brilliant story behind it, and what makes kits good is obviously a story behind it. And this was a cursed shirt, like completely cursed. And I love stuff like that because football's, got loads of that, hasn't it? Football's got all the kind of, traditions and that sort of stuff. I can't see the shirt. That's brilliant. And so I did like it for that reason. but I just put it dead last. It's just purely on looks, like the grey look with the kind of carpet texture of it. I just really not a fan. And also, if it's cursed, we can't have it high, can we? Because then the list is cursed. And yeah, finally, also the third shirt that season, the one they changed into, miles better. And I'm probably saying that because it's blue and white, but it just looks much better in my opinion. So for all those reasons, that's why I put it last.
No, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, so I know what shirt you're talking about. That's obviously the shirt that was the away shirt the season before. The very first shirt I ever had with a player's name on the back, Cole 17. So that tells you how old I am, I guess. But it's for me. I don't know. I just think it's a great shirt. I think they tried to replicate it once since then. Obviously, I can't remember the exact season, but it's Jose era with the Holy Trinity in the back of the shirt.
2017-18 that season.
Thank you. That for me was that doesn't even come close to this. I think look at the players that wore it. Yeah, it's famous for those comments from Alan Hansen. It birthed the class of '92 in a way. But yeah, we'll come to Max because I think we're all waiting to Max to unload on this shirt, and I'm excited for it. So Max, this Manchester United away shirt, why for you is it worse of the 10 that we've seen, and just your general thoughts on it overall, I guess.
It's a United shirt, therefore it's awful. I think the story with this shirt is that Umbro were trying to design something that was also could be worn for like leisure wear. I think that's the story with this shirt. So therefore, it doesn't work as a football shirt in terms of the design. Grey is an appalling color to use as a football shirt. I mean, besides that one from 2017-18 that you just mentioned, what other shirts are out there which are grey? And I mean, dominated by grey, not just like grey flashes here and there.
Yeah. Two-tone grey as well. It's even I can't think of any. Juve had grey kits, I think, at some point. What I say? Maybe. Yeah, there's a couple that spring to mind, but basically, grey is not something that you use in a football shirt. So that's me being what's the word? Basically, this is me being critical, but being fairly critical. So if I can go on a proper Bert rant, it's disgraceful. It's an abomination. It's the worst thing that's ever happened in the history of football shirts. I gotta be careful when I say that. You should be ashamed of yourselves for even considering this a classic. And yeah, disgraceful that this shirt even came into existence. You know what? You gotta love City fans, don't you? Yeah, I tell you, you gotta love City fans.
Yeah, I mean, City as well do have their own cursed shirt, but this is even worse than it because of who was playing in this shirt. You shouldn't have to rely on a football shirt to say why you didn't winning it because the quality of the players should have been able to do the job enough.
No, you talk sense. I'm not going to take anything away from that. That's absolutely spot on. In terms of the shirt, you're wrong. But that's just my opinion, obviously. And that's absolutely fine, Max. But yeah, I think we said enough on this one. We will let it fade away like it did in that game against Southampton. The Manchester United 95-96 away shirt, only getting 16 points on our list. I think if I had to put it 9th, I think it was going to be, it would have been even lower. So thank the Lord for me, I guess. Right, we'll move on to number 9 on the list. Only getting 19 points overall from the panel. And it's this one. It's probably the weirdest shirt we're going to see this evening. From 2002. It's the Cameroon sleeveless home shirt. Famous for all sorts of the wrong reasons. I mean, Max mentioned leisure wear. I've never seen a football shirt try and look more like a 48-year-old guy from Swindon on holiday in Spain wearing something like this than ever I've seen before. So dead last on my list. I mean, it's funny for what it is and the reasons we'll see later on of what they had to do to actually wear it at the World Cup. But it deserves to be dead last. Someone who's a fan, and we'll start off with him straight away. You had it highest out of the 5 of us, Hamz. You had it 3rd on your list, mate.
Yeah.
Why this effort from Puma and Cameroon up there for you as one of the best cult classics?
It's just for the culture, man. When you're looking at it and when you're seeing someone actually wear it in person, it's the funniest thing ever. So I remember watching the 2002 World Cup build up, and we see, I think England played Cameroon in a build up maybe. So it's really funny to actually see when they were actually playing against them, and you're just like, what are they wearing, man? Like I'm putting it on for the camaraderie, for the pure effort of Puma to actually put this on and be like, you know what, this is going to get away in the World Cup. It didn't get away in the World Cup. I don't know if anyone remembers, did they have to stick sleeves on, like black sleeves underneath? So yeah, just like that, literally. And you're just kind of there like, this is crazy. It's so bold from what they did at Puma. I'm really not a fan of how people are just kind of there like, oh yeah, African kits are so different. But this was the wrong kind of different for me. But I thought, you know what, for a comedy value on the list, I have to put it high. Because when you showed me the list of kits that we had AA, and these are the kits that we had. You put 9 kits on there, and you put this vest on. So I was like, you know what? Let's put this vest on as high as I possibly can without looking like a psycho. So I was like, you know what? It's just so funny looking at it. Like looking at Samuel Eto'o, one of the hot young prospects in European football at the time, one of the best young prospects in African football, turning up at the World Cup without sleeves in Japan and Korea. And you're just like, oh my days, this is so funny. So it's not on there in terms of like, if I was to buy it, I'd wear it to football. If I was to buy it, I would literally just like wear it at a barbecue, or I'd wear it and like wear like Under Armour underneath as well, because that's the only way you can wear it. But it's just the funniest kit I've ever seen in my life. Like you're looking at it and you're like, how are they getting away with that? And I'm glad they didn't, to be fair, because it would have just been like an overshadow of the whole World Cup for Cameroon in 2002.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Michael's not wrong when he's saying, they made a bib.
Literally.
And it's that's some road kit. Damn. I mean, last year Puma got pelters for the 3rd shirts. I know this year their away shirts. I've had some critics. They've been at it for 20 years. Let's be honest with you, they're not strayed away too far from strange designs. I mean, to me,
they are savages in this game. AA, they're literally savages in how they do their kits, and not even just in football as well. When you're looking at them in like basketball, when you're looking at them in athletics, you're like, what the hell is going on with them? Yeah. They just do not care, and they're just trying to do things to try and get them more out there, but it still isn't working for the right reasons. It's working for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I'm all for creative freedom. It does remind me a lot of, I don't know if any of you remember when you was in school in summer, you had to wear the sleeveless jumpers. That's what it looks like. It looks like he's going to school. For me, anyway. And obviously, I could have picked a worse shirt. I don't know if you remember the one they had after that, which was the onesie. That could have been on this list as well. But listen, this is bad enough. Let's go to Jay next on this one, mate. Yeah, you had this one 9th on your list overall. Have I pulled a fast one here, and it's not even really a football shirt, or?
Oh no, it definitely is kind of. I think is it the only vest that ever made like a tournament? I feel like it is. It's a lot of onlys and firsts, but for like you guys have said, for all the wrong reasons. It's gone down in history, of course. And that's maybe a good thing, but I think I picked this list on, like, I tried to pick it mostly on looks, and also, like, the kind of kit you'd want to wear, and I just think not many people will ever be able to pull this kit off. Like, only the athletes will ever get to pull this off. If you ever do see someone looking like me wearing this kit, it's a sin. So it had to be so far down on my list for that reason. But I do love. I said this about the current Puma kits, actually. Like, I love that they're trying. Yeah. Like, keep trying, guys. You'll land it eventually. But yeah, it's just they can't hit it, can they?
No, definitely not. Jackson agrees. I couldn't imagine Matthew Hamz in this. Defo one for the gym goers. Yeah, I hear that. Max, you like to smash out the gym every now and again. Is this something you'd wear while you're on the treadmill?
100%. FIFA is the reason why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
If that was worn by Michael Jordan, if Michael Jordan was from Cameroon and was wearing that, we'd be nuts about it. Yeah. It's great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the flag colors going through the sleeves there. Yeah, I think it should be the standard for football shirts. If anything, it would stop cheating. Oh, well, not cheating, but shirt pulling, I guess, on the sleeves. It would be clearer to indicate about a handball situation. I can't see any fault with it, to be honest.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, so you put it forth, so obviously clearly a fan. Don, we'll finish with you. You agreed with me. It's the worst of the 10.
It's not a shirt for a start.
There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted someone again.
I think if I'm just looking at it on the aesthetic, like the flag color on the shoulder bit, cuff, the different widths in the trim on the sleeves and on the collar, the fact that it breaks. I'm not a massive fan of V-necks. It's not a shirt. The fact that they were, I'd imagine, just as a Rudolph, the older Adidas brother, who'd set Puma up, and like you say, they've been since just doing weird shit. Obviously when they were told, I think they'd won AFCON in it, and then when they got to the World Cup, they said, well, you're gonna have to sew these sleeves on. They didn't even go to the effort of sewing on sleeves with the same color. And then just to piss FIFA off furthermore, they then decided to have that onesie thing that was obviously made hilarious by kitted out Ollie, as I know he loves to shack out in one of them. But yeah, it's just wild. The whole story behind it's mental, and I just think, obviously there it looks bad. It looks even worse without him. I'm probably just jealous because I've got absolutely zero guns whatsoever.
Yeah, I think I agree, mate. Yeah, the gym days are long behind me, so I'm going to struggle to pull this off. But I mean, it's come 9th on our list, 19 points overall, I should say. The Cameroon 2002 home shirt, not going down too well, apart from Max, really. I think Max was really keen, and I think Hamz just put it there just to rile us all up, I think.
For the culture, like I said, it's for the culture.
So number 9, like I say, Cameroon 2002 home shirt. Let's get into number 8. And just beating it by 1 point with 20 overall. Let's go to America, and it's the 1994 away shirt that was worn in that tournament that they hosted with. Obviously, you remember Diana Ross's brilliant penalty taking skills. If you've ever seen that video, 20 points overall, 8th on my list. I've seen it in person. I think it looks a lot better in person. Definitely one of those old school heavy looking shirts. It's okay. Probably a little bit more loved than it probably should be. Who are we going to speak to? Does anyone want? I like to ask people now. Does anyone want to talk about it first? Anyone keen to talk about this shirt? If you don't raise your hands, I will pick someone. Jay, there we go. We'll love to see it. You put this 6 on your list, so middle of the road, kind of. Tell us your thoughts on this one overall.
I love it, to be fair. I really do. And I think it has to be one of the best home and away combos I've ever seen. Like, it just, the USA, what's the USA about? It's about the flag. It's about the stars and the stripes. So making their kit about that, it just makes a lot of sense to me. I think they go well together as well. Like, obviously on its own, it's not as strong as together, which, dropped it down a few points for me. But I'm surprised we haven't seen this be recreated, like this stars and stripes stuff. It's just really, really cool and iconic. And the fact that it's quite self-aware as well. The fact that they've used like a denim kind of style background. Like, I love all that kind of stuff. It's so cheesy. It's so corny. And I do really, really enjoy that. And to be fair, they're hosting again, aren't they, soon in the next couple of years. So I reckon predictions, we might see a return of this style of kit, which will be class. So yeah, I'm actually a big fan of this kit, surprisingly.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I think, it was a point I was likely to bring up, that you say with the World Cup being spread there, Mexico and Canada, I think the next World Cup, I think we may see a return of this sort of rehash. But obviously that depends on Nike getting the sort of license to do something a bit similar with it. But I'd like to see it. I think that the efforts for this World Cup for me are terrible. I won't mention the Nike template to you, Jake, because I know where you'll go with it. So luckily for you, mate, there's none in this. Right, let's see who else we can speak to on this. Let's go to Max, let's come to you on this one. You had an 8th on your list overall.
Yeah, another one kind of similar to the United one where it doesn't work as a football shirt. Obviously, like football shirts are now worn as like a bit of a fashion item. If you were going to wear that in just everyday life, what do you wear it with? Because you can't wear it with jeans or
denim shorts. That's what you got to wear it with.
Oh yeah, and high top caterpillar boots as well too.
Absolutely.
No,
Timberlands. Put Timberlands on it. It's a proper American vibe like that as well.
It's just not a nice. I mean, it kind of explains where America was at that point in time when it came to football. That it was still something brand new, bit of a novelty. So let's have a bit of a novelty shirt about it. The away shirt is better. I wouldn't say it's great, but yeah, this is just nothing more than a novelty that has dated very, very badly.
No, yeah, I can agree with that, mate. I can see that side of it 100%. Dom, the stars and stripes, definitely more stars on this one. Do you remember this World Cup? Was you? I'm gonna say,
yeah. This is the first one I like properly remember, and everything about it was excessive. The fact Ireland were there as well, and there wasn't much else for us to do. Man, I had to switch a lead. But yeah, it was just one of those things that it was overtly American. It was loud. It was brash. I wouldn't have expected anything less, and I'm glad that they kind of went with that. The fact, as someone said, the home and away combo together is brilliant. For me, has aged really, really well. The fact that replica version, it's only the player version that had the stars that continued across the correct shoulder. If you go back to that picture with Alexi Lalas, that for me, that the player version looks loads better than the replica one that commonly people will get hold of. And I think obviously with the shorts and the application of the number, it was just bananas. And I wouldn't expect anything different now, which is why the newer kits are a bit boring in comparison. But yeah, I think the denim aspect is just hilarious as well. And yeah, with a pair of denim shorts and some Timberlands, I mean, who wouldn't want to have a look like that? I know obviously if it was Sean and it was a night out rating, you'd be going to some pretty exclusive places with that clobber, that kind of get up. And I'd love to see someone do it.
Yeah, mate, 100%. If I can get one of them, I'll if you can get one of them, Dom, I will do the full get up for you. And we'll hit Dean's Gate. We'll hit the Northern Quarter.
We've got one in the office, mate.
I'm coming in.
I think I'd seen on one of Jay's videos, this wasn't liked by the players.
Yeah, indeed, it wasn't.
Yeah, and I think I'd seen that a couple of times, but obviously because they're the ones who, at the time, thought, well, we've got to wear it. So yeah.
I think now players would absolutely relish wearing something like this. I think they'd really go for it. Another picture in there, absolutely going wild in celebration there. I mean, beautiful. Yeah, we'll finish off with you then, Hamz. So for you, culture wasn't culturing enough, I guess. 9 for this one.
I think it's one of those things that literally it was America's first World Cup. It was a different stage of what the World Cup is to now to what it was. If I remember correctly, they finished third in their group as well. And then I think they played Brazil and then they lost to Brazil. So I think that was the last time they wore that kit in the World Cup when they lost to Brazil in that advanced knockout stage before getting into the actual knockout stages as well. So when I was looking at it, originally, when I first looked at it on one of these like World Cup history moments, I'm like, this is their World Cup that they're hosting, and this is how they're dressing up. This is how they're going to be doing it. You're thinking a bit more on the nose. It would have been perfect if they had the right shade of blue. If they had a different shade of blue to what it is on the flag, I think it would have looked a lot better than what it did in grey as well, and this little fluorescent denim that we've got as well. Because I'm kind of looking at it, I'm thinking, you know what? If you had a different change of colour, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If the short colour was a bit different from the red and the blue, it wouldn't have been that bad. But when I'm kind of looking at it and you're looking at the players that they had in the squad as well and who they were facing and all the other kits that we saw at 94 as well, Italy, Brazil, Romania, for example, as well. They had some fantastic kits and you're like, you're the home nation. You need to stand out. And for me, they stood out in the wrong reasons for this one, personally.
Yeah, I hear that. my favorite. Well, I say my favorite shirt. It's my Grail shirt, which I've got, was the Brazil one, Ronaldinho on the back. But my actual one of my favorite, the shirt I actually had for this tournament was the Ireland away with the sort of green graded, the stripes that faded. I love that shirt. I wish I had that now. But yeah, there we go. The USA away shirt. Couple of comments coming on this one. Michael's coming saying, whilst it's a bit big and on the nose for me, that is the American way. To be a bit louder and brash, and the shirt is hard to miss, so I guess it works for them. Yeah, you bang on. You know, if you can't be remembered for great football, be remembered for what is, I would say, a great football shirt. So yeah, let's see if in the next World Cup, which they're hosting or co-hosting, they bring this back up. I'd like to see it if Nike can get that okayed, I guess. So yeah, 8th on our list, 20 points. The USA 1994 away shirt. Moving swiftly on to number 7 with 21 points. Like I said, this list really close this week. A shirt run by Drake. I think you know which one I mean. It's not the Corinthians one. It's this. It's the Juventus 15-16 away shirt. You cannot get this shirt now for more than £200, I guess, because of Drake. That's pretty much the going rate. Thanks to him wearing it on Instagram and stuff. But I guess it is a great shirt. I put it at 9th on my list. I just think it's overhyped for what it is. The strawberry milkshake. But it has got the old badge, which does give it some points. Let's go. Let's start with. I don't know, Dom. Let's go with you. 8th on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just a fashion shirt this now, than a football shirt?
Yeah, 100%. I think because of that elevation from Drake, it opened it up to a whole new audience. Obviously, we've seen a lot of musicians with different shirts on, but it brings in a new demographic, and the fact that it is, it's not typically like anything else. It'll appeal, but just on the actual aesthetic, it's not one for me. I like the fact that obviously Juve, with the nod to their original pink colours, which they did in this as well. A lot more subtly, obviously, but that I don't mind whatsoever. But there's just little things that irk me on this, like the band across the chest. I think it's almost at the sleeve level, but then the actual sleeve themselves and the hem at the bottom with that kind of overhang or underhang, it's like a valance round someone's nana's bed. It's just a bit I don't like it. It's like a shirt under a shirt. Like them audible things you used to get from All Saints when you used to go out in town when you was a bit younger. But yeah, just that hasn't aged too well. But I know obviously this has got a big cult following, will continue to do so, and will inevitably just rise in value as a result. But yeah, just not for me really.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Everything you're saying there, mate. Hamz, we'll come to you on this one. You had it the exact same as Dom there. 8th on the list. Just overhyped and not a great football shirt overall for you.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the funniest thing about the whole Drake thing is I remember when he came out, he posted that picture with the car behind him, and loads of people were just commenting, did he get it from a Turkish market? Because there was no Adidas on there as well. So people are like, did he actually get a fake version of this shirt originally? Or did he have to get rid of Adidas because he wasn't sponsored by them? So that made me laugh remembering about this shirt when you first showed it to me for our ranking as well. But no, realistically speaking, Adidas have made some really good shirts for Juventus in the past as well. The pink shirt was one of those things that if you were to have it, you'd wear it about town. You would wear it out and about. You'd wear it in the summer. It'd be a very good summer shirt to have. But realistically speaking, Juventus have had better away shirts, and Adidas have done a better away shirts for Juventus as well. My favorite part of it was the fact that you had everything. If you look at it from the top down, if you're going for the pink and the black, you got the Adidas in black, you got the badge, the classic badge, then you got the Jeep. I don't see why you need the red and the white in there as well. The red and the white looks like it is a mixture of a strawberry milkshake type of thing, and you've got some raspberry syrup in there as well, and some vanilla ice cream. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, come on now, Adidas, you did so well at the top here, and then you just messed up in the middle, and it's just looking so odd in that kind of way. So that's my kind of opinion on this one. It looks good, you could wear it out, but shout out to Drake for buying this shirt from the Turkish markets in Istanbul. We appreciate you supporting the business. No, I'm not Turkish, by the way, but I'm just saying supporting the business in Istanbul is what we do. So, nicely done.
Yeah, they got the Turkish small businesses. Yeah, what are you getting your coin in? No, well put, mate. It's a great opinion on the shirt. Jay, we'll come to you next on this one. One place higher than Dom and Hamz with 7 on your list. Yeah, I mean, you know, Michael said in the comments there, ignoring the fat Jeep, it's hard to get past the Jeep. I think they're doing a better job of it now, but big sponsors like that just kind of tend to ruin shirts. You tend to agree with that?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It kind of, because they've obviously gone with some sort of design with the white and the darker pink in the middle. And the Jeep just kind of completely takes away anything from that for sure. It does kind of work with the black accents, I guess, because you know sometimes you see a sponsor that's like bright red on a blue shirt with golden accents. It's like, what are you doing there? Like, go away. So it's not too bad, but yeah, it is in the way. I don't personally hate this shirt. Like, it's quite nice. Like Dom said, you know, any Juve kit that's pink kind of stands out for the heritage behind it, you know, harping back to the early days. I like that sort of stuff. But I think overall, when you compare it to some of the kits on this list, it just doesn't, you know, have anything to it compared to that. I think they did really well at that time as well. Like, well, obviously they did. It was like a dominant time, so that kind of adds to it. But yeah, I just think it's good, but it's not great compared to some of the rest of them.
Yeah, no, I hear that, mate. Someone who did like it, and you know, enough to put it second on his list overall was obviously our friend Max. Max, tell us why you think this goes down as a great cult classic for you.
First things first, disclaimer: I'm not a Drake fan whatsoever. I think he's an absolute. He's an absolute bellend. I've not seen or read anything good about him. I've got the prints on my wall here to show that I'm a metalhead. So yeah, he's a bellend. My opinion on this shirt has nothing to do with him. I obviously, with the same reasons that have been stated already, is the shirt perfect? No, absolutely not. But there's just something about it that I really, really like. Maybe it's the fact that, you know, when I'm younger and, you know, you'd look good in a pink shirt. No, I'm not wearing a fucking pink shirt. And then you get older and you know, toxic masculinity is a joke. And, you know, it's just a color at the end of the day. And it's just like, here's a perfect example to show how a guy can look great in pink and not give a fuck about these stupid things that people would say about people who wear pink. I just think it's fantastic with its faults. Even with the faults, I don't think I would change it.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's great reason, isn't it, to keep it as it is, mate? And, you know, some great reasons. And I like Drake, by the way. Drake, if you're watching, I'm a fan, mate. Don't not watch Talking Kit. Max's opinions are his own. Okay, let's just leave it.
We're all thinking it. We're just too scared to say it.
We all started from the bottom, and now look where we are. We're all here. So let's leave it from there. Anyway, just a couple things in the chat. I guess this shirt. Shout out to Viking Football. He's saying, "AA, why can't United have 3 stars above the badge?" Listen, United don't need to put 3 stars above their badge. We'll just leave that for City to put it on their badge, and it absolutely means nothing at all. We'll leave that to them. I'm sure Dom will agree. And also shout out to Dan. Last week, he was on last week, Retro Shirts FC. It's not the jumper, Dan. It's the actual remake of the Team Guy shirt. I know I'll probably get.
I was wondering what he was wearing. I couldn't make it out.
Ajax, mate. Yeah, just, you know, I'm supporting your twin, Ten Hag.
The head of Pep, the beard of Otamendi.
Oh, right, okay. For this week only, especially on Sunday, it's Ten Hag, my friend. Okay.
I can't go to it. I'm gutted. Cannot go to the match.
Why?
I got to go to London for work.
Oh, fucking work. Well, yeah. I'll have your ticket, but I ain't sitting with all you Blues.
It's all right. There's 50,000 empty seats around me, so you should be able to get a ticket.
But saying that, the away end's not. I got chubbed. I didn't even get one for it. I applied and didn't get one, so the away end will be full at least. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping. Anyway, we'll move on. Number 7 on our list, Juventus 15-16 away shirt, 21 points overall. Gonna go into number 6, 23 points. I think this was my number 1. I have to say, I'm in love with this shirt. From 92-94, not Paul Pogba. Oh yeah, that's what I was to mention about this shirt. This shirt looks a lot better with black shorts rather than the white as well. Just quickly. We got your Grand Prix 92-94 home shirt going all the way to the J League. Amazing. I don't know. J League shirts for me, they just bring something out. It's really where I find my best ranking work comes when it comes to J League. So yeah, only 23 points, number one on my list. Not really loved by the panel though. No one had it above 7 on their list. Let's start with you, Max, on this one. 7th on your list. What really didn't hit the mark with this shirt from the land of the rising sun?
It just doesn't speak to me. Some of these shirts we can all connect to a player or a moment in time, but were there any world-class players who were even having like their Gary Lineker, okay. I did just research into it just before. I knew that he played for a Japanese team, but I didn't know who. Gary Lineker in his final years as a player, maybe was there any iconic moment though? Probably not. I don't think so. I think this was their very first season in existence. So maybe that in itself is why the shirt is iconic, but it doesn't have that moment or maybe that player. I mean, Gary Lineker past his peak, probably not the same as a player in his peak, if you see where I'm coming from. It just doesn't resonate with me, this shirt. It's an all right shirt. It's the all rightest shirt I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, that's a fair assessment of the shirt, mate. Let's go with you, Dom, on this one. You got it 9th on your list, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not. The thing is that I don't recall seeing it until later on, and obviously I'm aware of players like Pele, Best, Cruyff, going to different countries well past the peak, just to get a bit of coin. I don't recall this registering at any point when I was younger. It's only really once I started, re-engaging and looking back through stuff, becoming more of an enthusiastic overall, that it kind of like got on at my level, and I still just as an appeal, not a massive fan. There's a bit too much going on with the geometric shapes. The fact that the name obviously cuts across that, the 10 just whacked on there, or the squad numbers that were on there, and then I think it's like sublimated application for the badge, and the Lecoq Sportif is its sponsor, manufacturer. Sorry, I know people like Kirby Hazard would be, killing me with regards to putting it so low down, but just overall, then McDonald's colours just don't do anything for me at all.
No, that's fair, mate. It does look very much 90s McDonald's. I remember the one, you might remember it in the Arndale, the one that had the tile mural of Man United and Man City on it. Reminds me of that, mate. It proper reminds me of that. Let's go on to Hamz. Hamz, for me, it's probably one of the best football badges of all time. Explain yourself and why you've put it 7th, please, my friend.
This is just some random stories to tell you guys as well, because I had the luxury of going to Japan a couple of years ago as well. So when I was going through Japan, even though I was doing a podcast at the time, I was still just a young guy getting through college or whatever I was doing at the time. It is fantastic to kind of go. And I visited Nagoya for a day and we stayed the night there. And I remember going past there and I saw someone wearing, not this kit, I think it was around the 2005 or 2006 kit that they had. I was like, okay, cool. So for the rest of the journey throughout Japan that I took, for the rest of the 2 weeks I was there, I was looking at all the other type of kits that they had. And I'm looking at this kit as like a standard Japanese kit from the 90s. Because again, like we mentioned about the USA kits back in 94, back then wanting to be brash and bold and then wanting to stand out. I thought there were so many better kits out there around this kind of era as well. So I'm looking at it and I'm kind of thinking, you're looking at teams like Gampara Osaka, you're looking at Yokohama Marinos. Someone's getting in the crash outside. Yeah, crazy to see. And then you're looking at these different teams and you're just kind of there thinking Urawa Red Diamonds as well. Fantastic little kit they had as well. So I was thinking, of all the kits that we've seen in this one, it's fantastic. I'm happy with it at number 7. But when you're looking at the J League ones from that era, from that decade as well, I'm thinking there's so many more to go through. So when you said, oh yeah, I go to the J League for a lot for inspirations for these rankers. I'm thinking if you're not a Japanese ranker for these kits, you're missing out because there's so many sick kits you can go through. So again, a nice little pun in there for you. But Gampra Osaka has some nice kits. Uwara Red Diamonds had some good kits as well, and Yokohama Marinos had some very good kits as well. I did try and get one of them from. I think I just bought the Japanese 2016 kit when I was there at the time, and I got the 2018 kit afterwards as well, because ever since going to Japan, I thought, you know what, if they brought those kind of designs over to Europe, people would rather love them or hate them like Marmite. But people wearing them out in social as well, they could easily do what they want, and it was fantastic to see. But with this one specifically, it has to be around mid, so 7 for me.
No, I hear it, mate. Yeah, I mean, Jay, you'll know. The J League, like Hamz has said, is just littered full of amazing football shirts. You know, they're very free with the designs. They don't seem to hold back. You know, you can say a lot of the templates over here, we fall victim to that, where Japan just do what they like. So for you, obviously being 8th on the list, why does this one kind of not hit that mark in terms of the greatest sort of cool kits from Japan, I guess?
Yeah, I think there are some great J League shirts. We have some great ones in the office. I kind of, you know what, I wasn't aware of how good they were until I got the retro job and was like, we had a few, and I was like, oh my God, where have these been? Like all my life. There are some really good ones. This one, yeah, the thing is, it's like, it is a beautiful shirt, like clearly. And I think having Lineker wear it just makes it that little bit better, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I like geometric patterns. I love the fact that they have Nagoya on the front, you know what I mean? Like, that's something, you know, not a sponsor, it's their name, and it's actually, they've created a logo. Like you said, the badge is just brilliant. Like, is it a whale? I don't actually know what it is.
A whale, eating a ball.
Like a whale kicking a ball, that's brilliant. I love that. But for me, like, just, it's nothing more than a good looking kit, and sometimes that kind of, you know, holds some kits back without any meaning, really. And I think, to be fair, if we talk about Nagoya kits, the one after this season, for me, is like probably their best. So that's why I kind of rated it so lowly, because it's not even the best Nagoya kit in my opinion, but still very good one.
Yeah, no, that's fair, mate. That's fair. There we go then. Nagoya Grand Prix, number 6 on our list, 23 points overall. Moving up, we'll go to number 5. So we're halfway there now. 30 points. It jumps up a little bit in terms of the scoring for this one. And we're going over to Spain, 95-97. Real Betis away shirt, classic kappa, brilliant pattern. Number 5 on my list, so I've got it bang on. Let's actually, do you know what? I think we all kind of scored it exactly similar. We'll start with you, Hamz. Let's start with you. You had it 6 overall. Just one place to order myself. Yeah, tell us what your thoughts were in regards to this one from Real Betis and Kappa.
I was conflicted with this one, to be fair, because this was around the time when Real Betis actually had a decent side, and they were doing quite well in La Liga. I think they were close to missing out, or I think they missed out on Europa League or UEFA Cup, sorry, as it was at the time. And it's one of those things that I'm thinking, you know what, of all the Real Betis kits that I remember, they're always going to be the home ones. But when you showed me this one, I was like, you know what, that's one of the few Real Betis ones that I actually remember off the top of my head, because they had a decent team at the time. They were trying to push into that top 3 moving forward in La Liga as well. But I quite like the design personally, so this is where I kind of get to enjoy the kits that we've got as well. It'd be something that I'd happily buy as a gift. So whatever I've said on Friday Night Counter-Attack previously about buying kits, I normally don't buy them for myself. Well, I didn't before lockdown, I should say, before I started the podcast. I'd buy kits as a gift for someone. So if I was looking for like a kit, gift for my brother or for like a family member or a friend, I would go for something like this. So if you had that on your in your office, Jay, I'd happily go and buy that for you from you as well. Nice little plug right there as well. But no, it'd be something quite cool as well, because you're kind of thinking about it. Like Real Betis, not one of the bigger clubs in Spain anymore, not one of the better teams in Spain anymore as well. They have bits of form here and there where you'll see them on Sport Bible. Did you know Real Betis are unbeaten like 3 or 4 games, and people like be like, oh wow, then you don't hear about them for the rest of the season. So I thought, you know what, give some love to Real Betis out here as well. It's good to see a refreshing color on this kit as well, and the design is proper 90s as well. So if you're around in the 90s, you'd see this as standard basically. So to see it now in 2022, I'm quite happy to see that, and I'm quite happy to pop that. I had that at number 6, but obviously we're moving into the top 5 now, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other people have to say.
Yeah, definitely. Max, we'll come to you. Similarly, you had it 6. Obviously, supported a team who were very known and had some some okay Kappa shirts. Where does this rank for you, and your thoughts on Kappa, especially in the 90s?
Yeah, if this shirt didn't have that wacky design there, I would have probably gone for a much higher finish. I think the color is great. The Kappa design down the shoulders is fantastic. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I feel when I see this shirt, I don't think Kappa first of all. But the K makes me think Kelma, is that how you pronounce it? I know it's probably part of some kind of broader piece of artwork, but we're only seeing a small fraction of it, and the K just stands out so much that it kind of throws me off a little bit. So close, but falls short of the mark, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I just think it's a beautiful shirt. You know what I like about it as well? It was when Kappa weren't skin tight. You know, you had to get catapulted into them. They were nice and baggy. Who should we go? Let's go with you, Jay. You had it 5th on your list. I mean, yeah, Real Betis, like Hamz said, I've known for having great Kappa shirts. He went back to him not too long ago, which we'll see. They actually did a rehash of this shirt. Was it last season? It was their 4th special shirt, or maybe the season before. So they were drawing inspiration and bringing it back out again. But for you, it's a great shirt, I guess, and I'd like to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those 90s like pinnacle of design kind of thing. Everything you would probably like about a 90s kit, you'll find in this kit. Do you know what I mean? You've got the Kappa cascading down, or like, you know, there's another kit on this list with cascading logos, and you know, it's beautiful for the same reason. You've got a beautiful polo collar. I love polo collars on football kits. Like every one of those behind me, they've got a collar. I just love that. The black and the white kind of accents just frame this kit beautifully.
Yeah,
it's just overall a beautiful design piece of the 90s. And like you said, Kappa not being skin tight, and this would probably fit nicely as well, would be really good. Also, I like the in the color, it's got the Real Betis. That was like a theme they had. I think Real Madrid had that, and as a few other teams I've seen before. So yeah, I do really love it. And you know what as well, I think the new Kappa kits that are coming out, you see in like Venezia and Vasco da Gama, they're starting to look a little bit more like these with those colors and that sort of design. So yeah, I do really like it, and I do like Kappa at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of Barca shirts of that time, you know, you think of the Ronaldo ones, they had the Barca in there. So it's definitely that they were running through when they were sponsoring teams in the 90s. And yeah, Dom, we'll finish off with you on this one. Again, you had it 5th on your list.
Mate, it's delightful. The colourway, the taping across the shoulder, like people have said, it's just typical 90s. It's everything that you would want or you would expect. The only problem for me is the fact that obviously this sponsorless version is a lot better. Once it's got a sponsor on it, it kind of detracts a little bit, and it was nice to see that when they hark back to that last season with another shit sponsor. They kept the theme there as well. But Jay, Max, I don't know if you could make out, but on the first image, if you go back to that AA, the K is part of something else. So if you scan across to the right on the left shoulder as we're looking at it, that's the A of Kappa.
Right.
Yeah. So it's weird that they've only included that bit of it, and that obviously I don't think I noticed that until well late on, that it was even a K in the first instance. But yeah,
the audacity that they would want to promote themselves even more on the shirt. The fact that Betis would approve of that.
Yeah, but yeah, and then the little detail on the collar as well, within that kind of Daft Punk font where it says Real Betis is just quality. But yeah, I think just 90s to a T, and all the better for it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping when you said that about obviously that being the A, that it would be like 5 players just sat together and it just says Kappa all together.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I'd really love that. That'd be number 1 if that was the case.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I remember United in the 90s, the 94 to 96 shirt. When they played in the Champions League, they couldn't have the Umbro in the stadium. That was the shirt, for obviously the sponsorship reasons. So it's surprising they've got away with that, considering it is definitely Kappa in it. But yeah, there we go. Number 5 on the list, Real Betis, 95-97. Away shirt, 30 points overall. Seems to be loved by the panel, and it should be because it is, like I say, a great shirt. Let's move on then. Number 4, no messing, beating it by 1 point, 31 overall. This beautiful shirt, I have to say, and it's the Marseille home shirt from 92 to 93. And yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful shirt. Obviously, Champions League winning shirt that they wore that season. 4th on my list, so yeah, I'm doing all right this week. I got a few in the right places. I mean, Adidas equipment. What else can you say? The 3 stripes on the shoulder. It's just classic. You know, Marseille, whether it's with Adidas or Puma, just tend to have really nice shirts. I'm happy it's been loved overall on our panel. We'll start with a person who didn't really fancy it that much on their list, and that's Max. Have it in 9th place. Where did this one not really hit the mark for you, Max?
It's just a template shirt, really. That's all it comes down to. I think maybe nostalgia clouds people's judgment, but yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that they won the Champions League, I don't think we would really think about it all that much as like a cult classic style of shirt. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it, I think. I'm very to the point. I appreciate you guys can like really elaborate on things, but I'm just like, yeah, it's a template shirt.
Mate, that's why I love you. That's why I love you. That's what we want. We want that directness, no pissing about, straight to the point. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Is that a pun again?
That
Droy Albut, or whatever it says on the Marseille badge, the English translation is to the point.
Oh God, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. You're bringing out facts. You're doing Josh's job. That's what Josh would say. It's good to have another Kitsman here. That's all I can say. I had no clue. Okay, let's move on then. Let's go. I don't know, Jay. Let's come to you. You had it 4th as well. I mean, it's more than just a template shirt, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm doing quite well, actually. Like, I'm getting a lot of these in the right place. I've had this one also 4th. I'm a sucker for Adidas. I really am. I'm an Adidas boy. I have been since I was a kid. So this instantly stands out. It is definitely, you're right, it is a template, but it's probably one of the best templates we've seen in football. I would say so. It's so simple, but like beautiful at the same time. You know, simplicity is one of the hardest things you can achieve in design. And they just got it to a T. It's their branding. It comes over the shoulder. The light blue color just works. Even the Panasonic logo looks good here. And then with that Champions League final win, just puts this shirt into the Hall of Fame for Marseille fans, but also just shirt lovers like us. So that's why I think it. You know, I think sometimes football shirts, when they've got a story behind them, like a Champions League win, that's why they get elevated. So that's the way I see this shirt for sure.
Absolutely. Just a quick comment before we move on. Jackson jerseys. Now this is art. Less is more. The tricolor V-neck collar, shoulder stripes, Panasonic, and Waddle's mullet. How can you forget Waddle's mullet? Yeah, the tricolor on there is a piece of art. I think we had a PSG shirt not long ago, and it's the one with the tricolor down the center, which I think was, again, to nick someone else's. It was absolutely beautiful. Let's go to you, Hamz, on this one next. 5th for you, middle of the road. I mean, it's a beautiful shirt. You have to agree, surely.
I mean, if I wasn't being a bit of a clown and putting Cameroon at 3, I think I've got every other thing right as well. So if Cameroon was at 9 or 10, like it should have been for me, instead of me going, oh yeah, it's a vibe shirt, this would have been higher as well. But no, just to say, I think it was what Max was saying as well. They are quite simple and they are quite kind of standard starter shirts as well. But Marseille have a history of that as well. When you're looking at a lot of their home shirts as well, it is just the logo, it is just the sponsor, and it's just the manufacturer of a bit of blue and a bit of white on their home shirts as well. So if you're looking at the kind of history of the Marseille shirts as well, it's probably one of the better ones because they have won the Champions League. So just like Jay said as well, the beauty of this kit is because they also did win the Champions League, and on a lot of their games that they played that season as well, they weren't even wearing the sponsor on it as well. I think in Europe as well they weren't wearing. Yeah, there it is. Champions League where they weren't wearing a sponsor on there. But it goes to show that when you're looking at some minimalist designs as well in football kits, sometimes less is more and sometimes less is better. So I was quite happy to put this as 5 on my list. So yeah, I really appreciate the kit there, Dudley.
Yeah, I agree with that one, mate. Finish off with you, Dom. Second on your list. I mean, it's been mentioned it's a template, but it's a template that's widely loved throughout the kit community. So much so the MLS did a couple of seasons ago, their whole shirts were based on this template again. So for you, why does this deserve to be second on our list of cult classics?
I think I was properly torn between this and what I did pick for number 1 as well, which I know Chester Sustainable March will be pleased to hear. But I think the only point that I was able to knock it down on was the fact that the sponsor wasn't there on the Champions League win, and it does definitely add the fact that obviously Panasonic allowed it to be in exactly the same color, and those, you know, the EQT stripes that came across. I think if you've ever had the shirt in hand as well, the fact that it's like they're stitched on, whereas the similar template that like Liverpool had the season before was kind of sublimated, and it just added to it, and it just felt, you know, a bit more hefty in hand. And just a little more special. The collar's brilliant, and yeah, I think just the simplicity of it means that it's aged really well. And obviously, we all pan templates now, but it's only when looking back, which I don't think we'll be doing with these current templates. The fact that this actual template, like Liverpool, USA, Sweden, Bayern, Ireland, the best iteration of it for me is the Stuttgart one. But yeah, this. Just the simplicity was just special. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of things on this photo just before we move on. Alan Boxic looking terrified there. Don't know what he's so scared of. And also, I'll never get over it. Barthez with hair, absolutely freaky, that, isn't it? You just don't expect to see Barthez with hair.
You should see pictures of me with hair.
Oh, I bet. Hey, will you please send some in the DMs? I would love to see you with her.
I've got a great picture of me wearing a football shirt that I can send you where I had like to my shoulders.
It better be as good as the Disneyland pics.
Oh no, that picture of me outside the castle, like that is the best picture of me ever. I've never felt so like my inner beauty reflected outwards. You know, that was a great picture.
Could you do me a favor, Max? Could you please send me 10 photos of you with hair and we'll rank them 1 week?
Oh, God. Yeah. I'll do that. Actually, I'm going to send it to now if you want to put it on, because I want to see all your reactions.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make sure we.
Max, I can Photoshop some hair on if you want, mate.
Oh, look at him. He's straight into it. He can't wait, can he? Look,
you go Taribo West, really whatever you want.
Yeah. Max is Taribo West. Yes, please. I would.
Oh, my God.
Shamak at Arsenal.
Yeah. Oh,
God, that's amazing.
The one that what's he called that played for Gervinho that played for Arsenal?
Back in Sanya.
Oh yes, please. I'm up for this. Right, there we go. Marseille is fourth on our list. 31 points overall. Again, another one pretty much loved by our panel. Let's move on to number 3. I think there may be a few upset people in this. 38 points overall. Sadly, it's not come number 1, so it hasn't set our world in motion. And it is this. It's the England third shirt from 1990. A lot of people's favourite shirt of all time. I can understand why. Number 1 for 2 of our panel. 6 for me. I don't like England. I just don't. And I think this is a nice shirt. I just don't think it's the best cult classic shirt of all time. I just think there's better in the list, pretty much. It's not that I don't really like it that much. I will say. Let's go on to. Let's start with you, Max, on this one. Middle of the road, similar to myself. 1 place higher in 5th, though. So, is it just that there was better shirts in the 10, or are you not really that keen?
It would be a good City shirt. I don't think it makes a good England shirt, though. I don't understand why England does wear blue, because I feel like when it comes, like for the most part, like national colours, like in the flags, should be what's worn on the shirt. I think the New Order music video plays a factor into why people like it more than I think it needs to be liked. Again, no iconic moment in this shirt. If anything, underwhelming considering that this was post Italy 90, wasn't it? So if anything, they severely underperformed in not being able to make serious traction at Euro 92 or even to get into the 94 World Cup. So yeah, that's my take on it, at least. But I do like the Umbro logo on the cuffs there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. That's some good. It would be a great City shirt. I think City had a home shirt not too dissimilar to this at the time. I tend to.
Yeah, a little bit brighter and without the design, the square design going on there. But yeah, it was the best we never had, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I agree. Hamz, 4 for you. Do you agree with Michael in saying no complaints here? Bloody lovely in terms of this shirt.
Yeah, if I could do a good northern accent, I'd say bloody lovely as well. But yeah, I really like this kit as well. But again, it was one of those ones that I picked purely for the vibes, for the fashion vibes as well. That again, you're seeing people wear this in 2002, and we saw. I think they re-released it before the Euros as well. They did this in blue and they did this in black, and you're just seeing so many people out and about in the streets from last year's summer in 2021 when the Euros were happening. More people wearing that blue shirt than they were wearing the actual away blue shirt that we had in the tournament as well. So it goes to show that people still love a retro shirt and they love a retro vibe, especially with the New England kit that's come out as well. It's got that retro 90s vibe, the red one that I think they wore in it's rather Italia 90 or somewhere around that time as well. And it goes to show that that's a very good way of capturing the nation's imagination, basically, by going back for retro kits again and again, and for it to be re-released as well. People seem to love it, and I think it's a fantastic design, and it would be a very nice gift to give to someone for a birthday or for a Christmas or an Eid present as well. So yeah, definitely I put that number 4, but very high for me.
Yeah, mate, if you keep saying it'd be a nice gift for people, I'm going to ask you to buy me. So
I'm actually gonna use your 10% discount as well. So this isn't even a plug. Like the fact that you mentioned it at the beginning of the podcast as well. I'm like, Black Friday is coming soon. I can use that discount and I get some extra discount as well. So it's a win-win for me right here as well. Best time to buy a shirt.
Don't use the code. Use the link, because that's when we get to donate some money to
plug in right there. That's what we're doing. We're
and also,
plugging it right there. I love it.
You go to retro football kits. I think you still got your 15% off, Jay.
Yeah, we do at the moment. It's going to end really soon. Actually, we were talking about it today to end it. So if you want to jump on that, 15% off.
They've got some amazing shirts on there. I was in there the office the other day. I went in the warehouse and porn. That's all I'm going to say. Porn.
Where's the office, Jay?
It's in Manchester. Well, Greater Manchester. It's Ashton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ashton's not too far from me.
Down the road from me.
Might come on Friday. I'm in Manchester on Friday, so I'll let you know.
No worries, man.
Right. Okay, let's move on. Jay, we'll come to you on this one because it's number 1 for you. Is it just because it's John Barnes vibes for you and World in Motion, or what is it that stood out and made it the most classic of cult shirts for you?
It's everything for me. It's everything. This is football shirt heritage. This 1919 was a place where you could put a pin in and say that's where football shirts changed. That's what made football shirts what we love. I think you talk about some of the best shirts that you love. The design aspects from it were born in the 90s. I feel anyway that for me that's the case. And this was one of those better ones. And I think everything. I'm an England fan. I love England. The fact that we had that great tournament in '90, but then followed it up by having some stinkers. And there's a comment there about Dennis Wise scoring his only goal in it. That makes it great.
I was trying to find. Obviously, I always try and find pictures of the shirts, and I send you ones of the players in it, so you can get a judge. The only one I could find was Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise in the shirt. So yeah, you're right. It does remind you of Dennis Wise. Because like Jackson said, he scored his own England goal against Turkey in it. But yeah, sorry, Jay.
It's fine. Very, very little man. What a guy. And I just think that adds to it, doesn't it? And then obviously you've got the song "World in Motion." This still gets sung today. England fans, I think Hamz said it as well. You'll still see this kit, even though it's score draw. You'll still see this kit knocking about today when England will be playing in a couple of weeks' time. You will see versions of this kit. It just means everything to England fans, and I just love it. The geometric patterns in the background, studying the polo collar still in the Umbro taping on the sleeve is just brilliant. I can't fault it. This is one of the only kits that I have no faults for it, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone who shares those sentiments. We'll finish off with Dom, number one for you as well. It's been mentioned, obviously, the score draw. For me, when I look at this shirt now, I can't help but see a score draw with no Umbro on there, and it really grinds my gears. I know you've had issues with score draws in the past. Do you think this shirt gets affected by that, or is it just still an amazing shirt?
I think just because of the prevalence, obviously, with the rarity of this actual shirt, getting hold of an original now is going to cost you nothing short of an arm and leg. But for good reason. I think for what it embodies, and for the fact that it ties in with the cultural elements of music, and obviously we were off the back of being rightly panned and looked at as fans unsavourably as a result of a few things that had happened. But this kind of gave us a way back in, and yeah, for actual fans to have grown up seeing it, it was like I'd see like older like relatives or friends, and be thinking, Jesus, I want one of them. And I still feel the same way about it now. And there's not many shirts that have maintained that kind of appeal to me. So I think it's an emotional thing as well. But yeah, I think Umbro's released today of the Nationals collection, for which I don't know if anyone had picked up on. They've simplified a few different badges, but they've kept key design elements, and they've pretty much done a carbon copy of this, so much so that they've got the same taping. And I think again, it's a better way of getting into this look than the score draw stuff, because some of that stuff without an Umbro logo, it looks like looking at a face that's got an eye covered up. It's weird. Or if someone's got one eyebrow missing, it just looks odd. Whereas I think, this has always been a massive love of mine, will continue to be so. Ideally, I'd be able to get hold of one as well that wasn't going to be too expensive. So if anyone's got one, give me a shout.
Jay, you're the man in the know.
We sold ours about a year ago. We only ever had the one, so I'm sorry. I'm definitely gonna use that one eye thing in a video though. I'm gonna steal that.
We all share each other's stuff here, mate. It's absolutely fair. Just quickly, Jackson's been on it with some. I never knew this, but it sounds amazing. You can find footage of other England players singing the John Barnes rap for World in Motion. Peter Beardsley's version is, Peter Beardsley rapping is everything I've needed. Is everything I've ever needed to hear. Oh, how have I missed this? Does anyone know about this? Has anyone heard about this before?
I think I've definitely heard it, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that there's a few of them went down and all auditioned for it. But there's only a few of the England players that actually apparently had left the pub to even bother going down to meet New Order. And apparently New Order weren't like big football fans either. So I imagine that was just a bit of an awkward encounter for both parties.
Yeah, and the way it works out, the biggest hit is a football song, so it's funny how that works. Just quick, Sunshine, thank you for locking in, mate. I hope you're well. It's nice to see you. Well, there we go then. England's third shirt from 1990, 38 points overall. Like I say, these next two only split by a point, so it is really quite tight up there. So number 2 on the list, 39 points overall, and could be very. Some people's number 1, I guess. It's the Milan 90-91 home shirt. Oh, it's something nice. And it's gonna sound very contradictory that I'm saying this, but I put it 7th on my list. I love it. It is a beautiful shirt. It's an AC Milan shirt, isn't it? But it's just classic. It was on the list. Tom, let's start with you. I'll finish with you. We'll start with you. You had it 3rd on your list. I feel quite bad because I'm the only person that had it out of the top 3. But yeah, tell me why this is such a great, iconic classic shirt, a cult classic shirt for you.
I think it just because it typifies what an AC shirt is to me, and that's from someone like obviously based over here who's grown up watching like Gazzetta Football Italia. It'd be that kind of stuff that you'd be moved by, and I think obviously that sponsor is not is not the most commonly recognizable for an AC shirt, but for me, it's the best. Which is I'd grown up and I thought it was like an oil company or something, but apparently it's a tech firm. I'd looked at there's a blogger goes by JD Evans or Embrace the Margin, I think, on Twitter, who does loads of Syria blogging, really informative stuff, and ties in a load of history as well. But the fact that obviously that sponsor did had Motta as well, and Opal, but this with the fact that it was Adidas's, I think, first shirt with them, they'd left off Adidas, underneath the trefoil, which looks better for it. And then the fact that then ties in with the European Cup and the star for the 10 league titles, it's just classy. I think that's the only word that I would use to really describe it. For me, it's just classy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one, mate. Hamz, will come to you. Second for you overall. It's very rare you can get an AC Milan home shirt wrong. I know I'll speak to him about it in a minute, but I know Jay's got some opinions on, especially this season's. But for you, why is this so high up, and what is it about it that makes it such a classic, I guess?
First of all, you mentioned previously when I was talking about giving gifts for people. This is where I'd be a bit selfish, and this is why I keep it for myself. This is why I'd buy it for myself. I'd spend the money, treat myself, and I'd be like, you know what, this is a nice kit to wear as well. So it's one of those kits that I know if you were to wear it around town or you'd wear it out, random football fans would go up to you and be like, that's a nice kit. Or I remember when I think Van Basten was playing in that kit, or Ruud Gullit was playing in that kit as well. So you're getting loads of people with that throwback era about it. Yeah, Viking football YouTube, Ruud Gullit, Van Basten, in terms of who we have, and Baresi, of course, one of the best centre backs of all time. And one of these teams that you're just kind of thinking, like, you know what, this is when they're about to dominate Italy and dominate Europe as well. And I really enjoyed watching AC Milan when I was growing up younger, but I didn't get to see these guys in the early 90s as well, unfortunately. It was only by highlights I got to watch them. But looking at some of the players and looking at the way that it looks like as well, I think it looked better with the black shorts personally. When I saw some of the kits, the kits from behind as well. But the one that we've got at number one, I thought, the number one or number two, it has to be between these two that I think. And you know what, with this one at number two, AC Milan have done some fantastic kits in the past, and that's definitely up there. Probably even top 5 in my opinion for their home kits. And like you said, AA, you can't really mess up a home kit from AC Milan. You couldn't really, besides a couple in the mid 2010s, I would say, personally.
Yeah. I agree, mate. Jay, come to you third on your list as well. I mean, I spoke about not getting one wrong, and I think you've been vocal on liking their new one with Puma. I think it's been a smooth transition. I think they've done quite well, but I think Adidas will always be sort of connected to AC Milan. And yeah, for you, what was it was so special about this that it needed to be so high up in your list?
I think it's just AC Milan at its truest form. Everything that AC Milan kit should be is here. I think, the players at the time were unbelievable and they were classy themselves. They're wearing this classy kit. It's, they're showing off their dominance with that European Cup and the start. Also, I love the fact that it's just a little icon of the European Cup. Like, that's so cool. Like, it might, obviously nowadays we have the patches and stuff. That's just much cooler. The Adidas Trefoil logo makes any kit like that extra 5% better. The stripes are not interrupted by anything. And again, another polo collar. It's just one of those. It's just AC Milan in its finest form at one of their finest times. So it's undefeated for that reason.
Yeah, mate, Bob on, absolutely nailed it. We'll finish off with Max. Top of the tree for you this week, Max. Tell us why this was the greatest.
I just love it that AC Milan are paying tribute to Manchester City's 1969 FA Cup final win with this shirt. They didn't have to do that, but the fact they did is just very, very honourable of them. I think this is...
What were the names, Max? Was it Summerby, Bell, and who?
Bell, Lee, Summerby.
Yeah, that was it. In the commercials, like who? And sorry.
Oh, I had to get that again. That bloody advert. This Milan shirt, you can just be quintessential for Milan. It's just what every red and black shirt, no matter which team it is, if it's a City away, if it's a Bournemouth home, as long as you wear red and black, you are judged by, is it as good as an AC Milan shirt? And because of how basic this shirt is, which can sometimes be a negative, but in this case, it can be an absolute positive. You know, this sets the tone for all red and black shirts around the world. And yeah, as well, considering like who the class players were that were wearing it as well too. Young Maldini, Rijkaard, Sexy Bastard, Ancelotti. Yeah. It looks good on its own, and they made it look even better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I you know, we're not at a flip flop yet, and I think I should bring this week's first flip flop. I probably should have had this higher in my list. I probably made a boo boo there. I don't know why I put it so low. And if it did, it would have been number one. But sadly, not to be. There's another shirt that has beaten it to number one spot this week, and it's our favourite cult classic shirt. I think you'll agree when you see it. It probably deserves to be the number one. I've got one of their shirts right behind me now. So with 40 points, like I said, it only beat it by the one. And it says from 99 to 2000. I mean, it's the Parma home shirt. I think they wear this now away, don't they? These colours, but they were wearing it at home in this era. Champion. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about that, and the sponsor and the badge and everything. It was 3 on my list though, overall. But I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just great. I'll let the guys speak about it a lot more. The person who had it lowest, we'll start off with him. Dom, 6 on your list for this one. Yeah. What is it that wasn't quite hitting the target for you with this shirt?
I just preferred the other shirts. This is still brilliant, and it's, you know, it's got so many elements of like mid to late 90s shirts that we all love. And obviously, you know, anything where you, as with the trefoil on the last shirt, anything where you had a Coppa Italia or, you know, a Scudetto, instantly raises the shirt itself. The fact it's just above the club badge as well, an iconic sponsor, and, you know, a mental but really appealing colourway. I can understand why people have got it higher. It's just that for me, I felt there were other shirts that you know, was drawn to a little better. Champion, not around for nearly long enough, given how good that taping is and how good that looks as a manufacturer on any shirt.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, mate. I think what you're saying there is absolutely spot on. We'll go over to Max. Let's come to you next. Third for you, similar to myself in terms of placing it. What are your thoughts on it? Why did you rate it so high? And
it's the shoulders is fantastic. I think anyone who from around that time, everyone was putting their logos down on the sleeves, and it's just so effective. And, you know, if we're talking about Umbro or Kappa, we always refer to that more than anything when we talk about those shirts. I think yellow and blue is a fantastic color combination. One in the UK, at least, I feel is very underutilized. Most prominent, of course, like in South America with Boca Juniors. But yeah, more yellow and blue, please, shirt designers. It just looks great. And then you attach to it the accomplishments of Parma, and the fact that was a golden period, and then it all went tits up not that long afterwards, just adds to the sentiment behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Crespo wearing it. Yeah, what a great player. What a great shirt. We'll move on to Jay. Let's come to you on this one. You had it second in your list. Yeah, tell us why you love it so much. And your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I agree with what everyone said so far. It's just a beautiful kit. I think the fact that it's champion makes it stand out instantly. You know, we see a lot of the same Adidas, Kappa, Nike, you know, Puma. The last chat, just quickly, because you just brought it up, I quickly checked what was the last champion shirt, and it was Wigan 2008, which is like a pretty sad way to go out. Yeah. But you know, their era of sponsoring Parma shirts were just undefeated. Some of the best kits. I think, you know, you can pick out 3 or 4 of them and they'll be high on anyone's list. So I think that makes this shirt stand out instantly for that. taping on down the sleeve. Like Max said, love that. I think my favorite kit of all time is the 98 Roma one with the Lopeta logo going down. I think anytime you see that, it's just sick and it just looks really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the subtle bit of design in the hoops, you know, the tiny bit of gradient from the darker blue to the lighter blue on the ends, just, you know, make it nice. And then again, Parmalat, I think, you know, sometimes a kit can be made or broken from a sponsor, but a Parmalat sponsor just works just so well. So it's just a 10 out of 10 kit, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. And someone else who agrees with you had it number 1. We'll finish off with him. Hamz, you got it right, mate. You was bob on. You got the number 1 shirt right. So why is this the best cult classic shirt of the 10 that we see in the list?
For me personally, it's one of those when you're kind of looking at it as a kid. So when you're looking at it as a kid, if you wanted to design a football kit, what kind of colors would you want to use? You want to use bright kits. You want to be a bit observant in terms of how you want to put it. So stripes is a very kid thing to kind of do. And with blue and yellow, what a combination as well. We've got a big Brazil fan here in AA who I appreciate your reference, by the way, when you said if you want to get it on Target. I think to Dom, you said it when they had the little Italian logo. So I appreciate what you said there as well. Nice little pun. But it's just a refreshing kit to see. And from all the ones that we've had on the list today, that's definitely my favorite because when you're looking at it, it just brings me that quintessential Parma kit for when they were at probably one of their best times in their career as well. In their career, in one of their best times in their history, basically as well. Seeing them and some of the players they had, Cannavaro, Crespo, Juan Sebastian Veron. I think it was around that time when he left for Lazio, maybe. But it was just fantastic to kind of see how they were back in their pomp as well. And for this kit as well with the design, I haven't really spoken much about design today, but in terms of the fact that you got the blue, you got the black on the sleeves as well, and with the yellow as well, it just stands out proper. And I'm really enjoying it. And it's one of those kits when you're kind of looking at it and you're thinking, if more kits were designed like this in this day and age, no one would be complaining. More people would be spending more money on kits, not just as a fashion item, but even just playing football in it. Everyone knows who you are if you're wearing that Parma kit in blue and yellow as well. No one will miss you. And especially if you're going to play football with new people for the first time, you can just be called like Crespo or Veron or something like that because of who you've got on with the Parma kit as well. So that's definitely a standout one for me. And that's why I put it at number 1 on my list as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jackson echoes that. Lots of colour scheme, but the badge, but I feel the badge seems small. Would prefer the Cocada in the middle, but classic sponsor and screams Crespo. Yeah, I'm looking at my Parma shirt there, and the badge just seems small. That's a Puma one rather than Champion. But yeah, there we go. Number 1 on our list this week, the Parma 99-2000 home shirt. I think deserving of number 1. I think everyone will agree. It is a great classic cult shirt. I will do, obviously, showing you I'm not showing that again, my due diligence in terms of the score. Oh, they're not come up. I did do the scores. The scores out there now. I don't know where they are. But they are somewhere. I'll get them up in a second. But yeah, there we go. Number 1 on the list. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me get them up. So some people don't know I'm cheating, and I do actually score everything properly. Here we go.
How do you base the scores, by the way, doubly?
So obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, so your number 1 shirt gets 10 points. Your number 10 shirt gets 1 point, and it kind of correlates from that. I then take everyone's scores, and it gets your final. So it's out of 50. So 40 out of 50 is a really good score. I think it's well deserved. For anyone that thinks I cheat and just put them wherever I want, that's clearly not the case because Manchester United wouldn't have been at the bottom, would they? So there is obviously that. One more thing to show you, and I think Max is excited for everyone to see this.
Excited is a bit strong. I know what's coming my way.
I'm excited for everyone to see this. Let me tell you, I didn't think it'd be this good. Let me tell you, Dom is in for a treat, my friend. Let's have a look at beautiful Dom. Winning a trophy for what must have been the haircut of the year, I have to say. Beautiful.
There is one from the 2011 FA Cup semi-final against United, but the quality of the image isn't that great. But imagine that, but slightly longer and straightened as well.
No.
Can I say?
I was a metalhead, although I don't think many metalheads were straightening their hair.
No. For me, you look like a member of every single indie band from 2007.
Yeah, like the Kooks.
The Kooks,
The Cortinas,
everyone, the Enema, Cortinas, everyone. Monkeys.
Yeah, my girlfriend's an indie girl, so maybe that explains a lot, to be honest.
So there we go. That is it for this week's show. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I think it's been a great episode. Absolutely 10 beautiful cult classic shirts. And I think we've reached a great summit in number one being the Parma shirt. If it is your first time talking kit, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in everything that we do here on the channel. Jay, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, and ranking some kits. Where do you live on the internet? Not in real life, that would be weird. Where can people find you? And let them know where you are, please.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me on. This has been brilliant. I've really enjoyed this, talking about kits with other people, not just myself. That's great. So I work for Retro Football Kits. I do all the digital content for them. So we sell football shirts, Retro Football Kits. So check out the website. And also I run the YouTube and the TikTok pages for that. So you'll see my face a lot all over the website and the social medias and all that kind of stuff, where I talk about football kits. I do top fives. I kind of rank the newer kits in tier lists, loads of different videos. So check that out. And thank you again. And thank you all you lot for having us on.
Of course, man. Make sure you go and check it. Like I say, one of my favorite kit channels that are about great content. And hopefully it's not the last time we're doing stuff together, mate. I look forward to doing some more stuff. Max, I know we've kept you up late. I know you're going to be tired tomorrow and cursing me out, but thank you so much for being here, mate. I really appreciate it. And again, another person I love doing content with. And where can people find you and what are you up to?
Main platforms are Twitter and TikTok. I sell football shirts on Depop. All three platforms, my username is Fitted for Fans. I've got a massive drop of football shirts coming over the next few weeks and months at this rate. Keep an eye out for Depop over the next day or so.
Lovely stuff. Hamz, we'll come to you next, mate. Where can people find you? And thanks for coming on, mate. It's been great. I know after we did the foot golf, you said you wanted to come on, so I had to get you on and do some ranking, mate. But let people know where they can find you and stuff.
I hope my first debut, my first appearance of ranking full kits was perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. It was great to chat to everyone on here. It's great to experience it with the live event as well, and especially talking through with people on the comments as well. Great experience. My podcast and my YouTube channel is called Friday Night Counter Attack. So if you find us on Spotify, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever, just at Friday Night Counter Attack, we talk about mental health within men's football. We talk about football in general anyway. So we like to break stigmas in that kind of way, but also have a chat and a laugh about what's happening in football. And Double A's appeared quite a few times regarding Manchester United as well. And we're trying different things this year. We're looking forward to it. And I'd be happy to invite every single one of you onto our podcast or to our foot golf events later on this year and later next year as well. So everyone, thank you very much. And Double A, thank you for inviting me today. Great pleasure.
Anytime, mate. And it won't be the last time on the channel. I can already see that. Mainly because I make all the decisions. So, you can come on anytime. We'll come to Tom. Mate, thank you so much for coming on again. It's a pleasure to see that beautiful face. Where can people find you and what you're up to? Let us know.
Twitter mainly. Insta's gone off the boil a little bit for me. Generally just happy to engage with people in the community. Obviously a massive advocate for people being able to have a safe space for which they can have an opinion valued, challenged, accepted. And I personally have found it, a great escape from all of the other stuff that goes on that we can get bogged down with, and couldn't be more grateful for people like yourself and everyone else that I get a chance to be involved with, whether it's intermittently between shifts at work or being able to get out and actually meet people, which I've done on a number of occasions. And I'd advise anyone where safely you can do some like DBS checks first if you need to. Just get out, speak to people. I'm always happy to, have a chat with people where needs be. So much so that like my little boy sees what I do, and he's like overly enamored with, what the processes are, what opinions he's got. He even put together his top 10 for the shirts that we got given. He had England as his number 1. He had United as his second. You'll be pleased to know. But yeah, it'll be I'd definitely be taking Hamz up on that offer. I've quite fancy getting a free shirt at that foot golf as well. Maybe I'll get that England shirt as well. Jay, you can hook us up. Hamz will have to buy it off you, and then obviously I'll get a hole in one, and then that's me sorted.
I'll take you to some very difficult courses, though.
The one we went, it's in Burnage. The one we went,
Is it?
That's why me up and have a game. Obviously, I know you're Mank based, Jay. Matt, you're from around there. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I live up in Chorley, but there is actually a foot golf course in Chorley if anyone wants to
do it.
Come up and play on it. It's actually next door to Preston's training grounds, so you could meet some players as well.
Match one. Oh yes, please. Brilliant. No,
why don't we have us 5 versus 5 of their players for Preston?
Yeah,
good one. That would be great content for everyone.
Definitely.
It really
Preston
will.
won't be happy after losing, but yeah, it'll be great fun for us as well.
So let's decide we're going to bring you a foot golf. We'll have it on Hamz channel. I'm not going to try and take his content. That just be mean. But no, thank you to every single one of you. I've absolutely loved this episode. It's been a pleasure to sit here and rank myself silly with every single one of you. So that being said, we will leave it there. As I said before, if it's your first time talking kit, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get involved. Let us know what kits you would like to see us rank. Look out for more content coming soon. Yeah, and we'll see you all. But make sure, whatever you do, that you are always talking kit.